Finally, I have another opportunity to talk about Security Breach. Not that I don't have topics to talk about, or reasons to replay the game, but this time it's a special case. Because recently a very big mod for Security Breach was released. Call it Cut Content Restored, made by Fred Milk and many other talented people. Link to the mod will be below. I think the name of this mod is self-explanatory. It's a mod that seeks to restore different things that were supposed to be in the game but were cut for whatever reasons, be it optimization, deadlines, etc. And you know, if you have ever researched the topic of cut content for Security Breach, you probably know that this game had a lot of cut content. I mean, a lot. This mod is big, more than 6 GB to be precise. So what's inside? At first glance, this mod appears to be just a pack of different locations. The start of the game has barely changed. But you will notice something new already even here. A different voice line for Freddy here.
There is a button that will open the maintenance closet, but I have been programmed not to notice it.
A different position for this stand in Rockstar Row. A different icon for the photo pass. They replaced Roxy with Freddy? I will never forgive that. Already we can see some interesting things, like the window to the backstage booth or some new doors that are locked for now. But these changes don't really show the scope of this mode, until you see this. Oh well, okay, that's huge. There must be many more interesting locations, but surely that's the end of it, isn't it? Oh. Yeah, this mod adds a bit more than just locations. Enough to give you a feeling that you are playing a somewhat different version of the game, while not changing the story or the gameplay in any critical way. The list of changes is quite varied. New areas, some new collectibles, tweaks to some missions, some of the old locations received a bit of environmental touch-ups to add more flavor to them. However, while I said that the story is indeed not changed, some of the new locations will be used in it. Like here when Freddy saves Gregory from Monty and Roxy. Instead of going through a long, boring underground tunnel, Freddy leads you through the backstage and its catwalks. Vanny has been also tweaked a little bit. She feels more menacing, and there are two reasons for that. First, the mod restored some voice lines. And second, because of the changes that were made to the backstage and the deletion of the elevators, in encounters the game has, it now feels like she can actually chase you. After upgrading Freddy for the first time, with either clothes or the voice box, you will get a new quest where you have to go back to the backstage to turn on the lights in the Pizzaplex.
Why are the lights still out?
There must be a problem with the main generator. Until power has been restored, I am afraid it will remain dark. Many doors will not function properly. Your fast watch should still work though. I have marked the location of the generator on your map.
And I think I was supposed to see Vanny here as well. I was just enjoying the view of the Dark Beauty Saloon and decided to take some screenshots of it. And while no clipping, I heard the sound of Vanny in the distance. Which freaked me out a bit, as I wasn't expecting this and thought I was safe. But I haven't seen Vanny herself and can't say I regret it. Oh, and after that you will get the pass to Roxy Raceway.
Well done. I have something for you. Take it.
Where did it come from?
I do not know. I was holding it when I rebooted.
What do you mean rebooted? When was Freddy was supposed to reboot? Like after this? Or after being in parts and service? Yeah, this mod restores some old voice lines, and this one in particular makes me raise an eyebrow. Whatever. As for some other voice lines, the line that gave birth to Gregbot was replaced with its original, about Gregory having a cat.
I am detecting are injured.
Don't worry about it. It's just a scratch from the vent. I'm fine.
Your arm is cut badly. I will take you to a first aid station.
There's no time. I'm fine.
And in some places you will be able to hear Vanessa talking to Glitchtrap.
I don't know how to fix it. What am I going to do? If Freddy was working, we would have him by now. I've looked everywhere. Not here.
There were many more lines restored, but these were simply more memorable to me. The night time when moon comes out was also overhauled. Now the Pizzaplex goes into an actual darkness, and this leads to some cool visuals. Okay, but what about the main thing of this mod, the locations? Well, we have some big additions here. The first one you will notice very early, and I already mentioned it. This is the backstage. It's very spacey, very detailed, and I don't know why such a cool place was cut from the game to begin with. Considering that if you look out of the window in the booth in the base game, you can see a very detailed render of this room. So it looks like it was cut late in development. This area also has the catwalks above it, and this room that gives a nod to one of the Security Breach trailers. We also have backstage kitchen, a lot of airlocks that connect different attractions between each other. The beauty salon was repaired, the bakery was repaired. Not sure if this one needed repairing because it was implying that Chica broke in to eat stuff, but okay. There is this VAT room that also could have been seen in one of the trailers. You can find the VIP room with a bar and stuff. Hey, remember this thing Freddy said at the beginning of the game?
These utility tunnels connect all the attractions.
We can go anywhere in the building?
Correct. Fazerblast, Monty Golf, Roxy Raceway. They are all accessible to staff, with high enough clearance of course.
Well, now with this mod you can actually use utility tunnels to move between attractions. There are also smaller additions like windows for Bonnie Ball with a view at Roxy Raceway, or the restored hologram in Monty Golf. The elevator in the main lobby is now working, giving you easy access to the price counter. The other side of Roxy Raceway also became accessible. You will see a lot more staff bots around the building. Some of them are blocking entrances to new areas and require a pass, while others are just for the entourage. Now, when it comes to negatives of this mod, there are several points I must mention. First, let's talk about the bugs. At first I was pleasantly surprised how few bugs I encountered, but it seems the mod doesn't take well when you reboot the game at certain parts of it. When I died in the dark version of the atrium, I closed the game for a day, and on the next day, when I loaded a save, the atrium wasn't dark at all, and Freddy was stuck in the middle of it. But fortunately it didn't cause any soft locks or anything. Then when I booted up the game several days later, suddenly Freddy got simply erased from the game. I couldn't find him on the map, couldn't call him, and couldn't use recharge stations. So I had to give myself abilities related to Freddy back with the help of the debug menu. Another important bug was in the boss fight with Monty, where I fell off the catwalks. I don't know what shocked me more, falling down or Monty jumping after me. So I had to use the debug menu again to fly back up. Yes, the debug menu is very useful with this mod. Let's get to another small problem this mod has, and it is that some of the locations are kinda empty. I'm not suggesting adding new missions or changing the way story progresses, but I think adding more collectibles and such could have given just a bit more purpose to some of the other places. Now, about the biggest problem this mod has: optimization. The overall performance of the game suffers, in some places quite a lot. The elevators in Security Breach were added by Steelwool to improve performance, even if these elevators most of the time make no sense logically. But now there's no elevators and... well... You know how in the base game this place that leads to Roxy Raceway always has lags because it's a crossroad between Roxy Raceway, Atrium and Beauty Saloon. Well, now there are more spots like this, and one of the most noticeable one is here, because this place connects the lobby, the atrium and the daycare. And the fast gate is a very laggy mess, I guess because it's connected to other locations on all sides. but not every location was affected like this. I lowered my settings to medium and it helped to lower the lag here and there, but not by much. Still, even with some bugs and performance problems, it was fun to look at this more complete version of the Pizzaplex. Of course, I haven't touched on all of the things added by this mod, but I think now you have a good picture of what you are dealing with. Link to the mod will be in the description. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like this video, watch another one if you want to. Good luck and I'll see you again soon.